Shut up and sit down.
And we're back. Hello, people. We got a long day coming up ahead of us. We are the Four Sportsmen coming at you live from KTC broadcast. We got Norman to my right. All right, he's not very talkative today.
Come in to talk.
We got Addison today as well.
How y'all doing?
Hello, and Mr. Nate.
What's up?
All right, let's recap some games today. Let's talk about this Antonio Brown conversation. Let's see who did well today in fantasy and who didn't. Some blowouts of last week. We won't talk much about that, but Baltimore killed the Dolphins. On a side note, we have Kyler Murray's just intro into the league and how he did. But let's get this show popping.
Well, let's go back to the games last week. My first game that I want to talk about would be the Texans and the Saints. It was a Monday night game, and it's probably one of the better games of that night. I mean, you had Denver, and you had the Raiders and them. But let's go back to the Texans and Saints game. There was 2 lead changes in the last minute, which was very big. And I want to say how the Texans were the underdogs going into that game, and they were not even favored by like 7 points, is what I think. But they came in, they scored a lot of points in the first half, and they showed that, we're not a pushover to the Saints and that we can be respected at your home field advantage.
They're a good team.
And they were showing a lot. And I liked Deshaun Watson, and then you had Hopkins getting 2 touchdowns, which was big. But what do y'all think about that game?
I feel like the Texans played pretty good all around. Someone else want to say something?
They played pretty well. I was actually shocked that I wasn't really shocked, but it was impressive to see Houston's defense hold the Saints early on.
Yeah.
Obviously in the second half.
Drew Brees turned it up.
He turned it up.
He turned it. That's what he usually does.
Yeah, they held Alvin Kamara for a while for the first whole half.
They tried to establish the run with Latavius Murray, and even though it kind of worked, they had a negative game script. So they had to change it to, let's dump some passes off to Kamara. Let's get this game going through the air, because clearly that front 7 for Houston was not shutting it down but holding them back.
Yeah.
And we saw what Drew Brees can do. I mean, it came down to the wire. Kenny Stills had that late-minute touchdown. Yeah. And then, Lutz had a 59-yard field goal for the win. I mean, in a matter of 3 seconds, they changed that quickly. It was like
I really thought the Texans pulled that game off.
The first game I like to talk about is the Chiefs versus the Jaguars, and the Chiefs won that game 40-26. And how about Sammy Watkins with 9 receptions, 198 yards, and 3 touchdowns?
I know somebody in this room right now that's actually extremely excited about Sammy Watkins.
I am excited. And actually, I've thought about trading him away for just like a big bulk deal, because I've heard a lot of teams were like, a lot of managers for other fantasy leagues were offering big deals for Sammy Watkins because they have high end. Even when Tyreek Hill comes back, Sammy Watkins is still going to be a good value for that team.
Yeah, but he's not going to get as much looks as he does now, because he's like the fill in for Tyreek Hill. And how about the Chiefs defense? Like, how do y'all think they played? 26 points scored from the Jaguars.
I don't think they're that good.
I mean, I don't think so either. Of course, they're not.
How would you feel about playing them against Oakland this week?
Well, I mean, you got a good offensive lineman, of course.
Yeah.
Are you asking because you want to start them on your fantasy football team?
Do you?
Yes.
Do you?
I need a defense.
What do you guys think?
I mean, the Chiefs, they have a better offense. It's going to be an offensive game. But, I don't know.
I mean, the Raiders looked really good in their first game back playing against Denver. They were moving the ball really well. I mean, running the ball. Josh Jacobs didn't look that bad. I mean, 25 touches.
What was it? He had
2 touchdowns.
He had 100 yards from scrimmage and 2 TDs.
Yeah, that's not bad. I'll take that. I mean, and
that's really good.
I mean, that's going to be if that offense stays like that and it's balanced, the only thing they worry about is their defense. How does their defense hold up against great offenses?
But see, the Broncos' defense wasn't that good either, though. So,
but the Raiders' defense looked good. Cleveland Farrell looked good. Jonathan Abrams.
You're saying they look good, but it's only 124 to 16?
They did go up against a really
Broncos.
mediocre
lack of
offense.
physical
Yeah,
offense,
average.
right? I
team
do
it used to be.
think that Oakland has a decent defense,
Yeah.
but they just killed Jacksonville. Question is, do you think Oakland's defense is better than Jacksonville's defense?
No, I don't think so.
I don't.
Yes
think
or
so.
no?
I don't think so.
Okay,
No.
then there's your answer. They just tore apart Jacksonville.
Yeah.
They're gonna tear apart Oakland.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's not going to be a big tear apart.
You don't think
I
so?
mean,
I mean, the Raiders.
but
are
if
still
you
gonna
look
score.
at Jacksonville,
No.
the only thing they
They
really
were playing
have
good
in their
last week.
secondary is 2 great cornerbacks.
Mhm.
The thing with Oakland, they have decent cornerbacks and great safeties. Jonathan Abrams and the 3-year player from West Virginia, I can't remember his name, but he's really good. He's 42. I can't remember his name, but he's hard. They're both hard hitting safeties.
Well, a big thing too is that Miles Jack got suspended. Not suspended, ejected.
Yeah.
Early on, and he is the motor. It's kind of like the Panthers losing Kuechly. So, we'll see how that goes. If it goes, I wouldn't. That offense is too good.
Yeah, it is.
That's just my opinion on it.
I think it's going to be a close game like last year, but I think Oakland's going to give them a better chance because last year, they were without Kareem Hunt,
Yeah.
and they're still without Kareem Hunt, but they have Damian Williams and Sean McCoy, but they're not in their prime. Like Damian Williams is just now becoming who he is into the NFL, and LaShawn McCoy is falling off in the NFL, but he's on a great offense, which is going to help out. But when you look at last year's team, they had the first time they played, I think they had Kareem Hunt, and the second time they played, they didn't.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a good game. I think
Yeah.
they're going to play them pretty well.
McCoy played really well though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did. He did
yeah,
play good.
he
What
played
do you have
really, really well.
What do you have 9 touches
He
on
had
it? Other
10
than
touches,
10
81
touches,
yards, yeah.
81 yards.
But Damian Williams had 13 touches, 26 yards, but he had a touchdown.
What was his? Yeah, he had a touchdown. That's
Yeah.
right.
That's
But you're going
something.
against the Jags, though.
I mean,
Defense
yeah,
was
it's
terrible.
Jags,
But
but
with-
don't ever underestimate.
With Damian Williams, is he going to be a boom or bust with a touchdown or every week?
Who is that?
Damian Williams.
Yeah, if you don't score, I think
With a
he's
team
touchdown
again-
dependent.
Yeah, like with a team like Jaguars, you never know. Like you don't even know. Like how he played that game, it doesn't mean he's gonna play like that the next game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just don't. It's not gonna be. I don't know. And I know you think that the Jacksonville's defense isn't that good.
I have.
I don't
them,
think
but
anybody does.
That's not the point, though. The point is that you think that they're not that good. I think they're good. I think they're not bad.
They played the best offense in the
Yeah.
NFL last week.
I don't.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They had 300 yards in the first half. What can you do? They're gonna do that against every team, just about. I mean, it's just like the Patriots. It's just like the Saints. They're always those offenses that are going to be that good because they have great coaches, great quarterbacks, and great players.
Well,
Mhm.
Derek Carr didn't look that bad last week either.
He did.
didn't
But
look
John
that bad.
Gruden's a great coach.
But you also got a great offensive line too.
Mhm.
Great offensive line.
Talking about the Jags defense, they play Houston this week. You think they can hold them off?
Oh, no.
What?
But that's a different offense. Like their offensive line is not as good. They just upgraded with Laramie Tunsil, but they don't have a running back. Damian Williams and LaShawn McCoy in that offense, they work well because Andy Reid's system is so good with running backs.
And McCoy knows it.
Yeah,
He knows it, bro.
he's already used to it. He's accustomed to it. So going into that offense was just another step in. Like it was actually free money for him, and he might actually win a Super Bowl this year. That he's
Andy
never
Reid?
won. No, LaShawn McCoy.
McCoy.
Yeah,
I mean,
That's Mahomes,
he
too.
averaged.
yeah. Well, I mean,
He
Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes.
averaged
Of course.
8 yards a
He'll
carry.
be the MVP.
That's good though. That is
And
good.
his first, he that was his first week in Kansas City, and he got 8 yards to carry, and then he got 1 reception for 12 yards.
Not bad.
I think he's gonna make Damian Williams just.
Like a flex, like a third down player, like a Alvin Kamara with the Saints.
Yeah.
What about Sammy Watkins? What was his like per carry?
Sammy Watkins last
have
year
his-
Per reception, my bad.
like
Sorry.
Sammy Watkins last year. I looked at his stats.
Like 20, I think.
Like it wasn't bad for
It
a wide
wasn't bad,
receiver.
Yeah, it wasn't
No,
bad.
his only issue is staying healthy and
Mhm.
being out there, and
He's got
also
6
having-
years
yeah.
of bad juju of just getting hurt.
Injuries, like bad injuries. However, though, having Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce in the same offense, those two players are better than Sammy Watkins are.
You know who
But
I'm
now you don't have Travis Kelce. I mean,
Tyreek Hill.
the
yeah.
player that I'm thinking about this week with Sammy Watkins being the number 1. Who's going to be that good speed guy like Tyreek Hill? McCole Hardman.
yeah.
He's good,
Mm-hmm.
and I like him. He's
Second
young.
rounder.
He's young, and I think he fits well with that offense.
Yeah, but are they really? I think to try to work him in, see
I don't-
what they got in him. but Sammy can do it. Travis Kelce can do it. And then you have McCoy and Demi Williams back there.
Like you're feeding 4 people.
Yeah.
5 mouths is just
It's a
too
loaded
much.
offense.
I think, having Hardman, I think he is the player to add in your fantasy
So-
football if you have the space. But
If you're Patrick Mahomes, who's your number 1 this week? Kelsey or Watkins?
I would go to Kelsey first.
I would too.
Go to Kelsey first.
He's
But-
your safety
who has
blanket.
both?
Make the linebackers and the corners go to Kelsey, and then
How do you
hit
help
Sammy
out?
up top.
How do you help out Sammy to be that number 1? Do you run the ball early on in the game and get that established and then start throwing it? Maybe to get him like,
I don't think they run that. I mean, they only ran the ball 25 times last game.
yeah.
So I wouldn't. I mean, they only ran it because they were ahead by so much.
All right. So who's our next game? What you got?
I got the Browns in Tennessee from last week.
Go ahead. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
How about before you start, I want to remind our listeners, 180 yards by Nick Chubb.
I was going to get onto that.
Well,
it was supposed to be 80 yards.
What did he do?
74 on 16 carries.
Wow.
Not good. And
Was he wearing a watch?
Hell, half a meal. I got a quarter meal on my wrist.
Freaking Tennessee beat them 43-13. 43-13. Baker
Yep.
Mayfield threw 3 interceptions.
I
What about
know,
that
I mean,
75-yard reception by Derrick Henry?
Yeah, but that's supposed to be
That
a
was a
Super Bowl
cakewalk.
contended
Offense.
team.
What was it?
A Super Bowl contender team.
The Browns?
Browns,
Yeah,
yeah,
they
and
were
then they just,
supposedly
like,
a big talk on them.
Big upset. Big
I
upset.
had high hopes from this
I had
year.
hopes.
It's only in the
for 'em. I
beginning
mean,
of the year. It's only game
I know it's the
one,
first
but
game,
still.
but Baker Mayfield didn't look good at all. He didn't to me. I
How
swear
many
he didn't.
interceptions did he have? 2?
Three.
3? Yeah.
3.
3 touchdowns. I mean,
And 285 yards.
the other team, probably.
That's it.
He was throwing off his knees.
Yeah, it
Cameron
was
Rake rocked
not
them.
pretty.
But that Tennessee defense has not been given the props that it's been given the past years. Like, it's still good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
was
but
great.
that offense, that Browns offense, this is not what we expected.
It's a
Should've-
not
it's
it's not. It's a set
Freaking-
offense. It's a great offense. But I mean, the look of it is. But I mean, how they play is
No, it's not a great offense.
But-
On paper, they got great stars.
great
Yeah.
stars. I mean, but great stars mean a great offense. Honestly, you can't say it doesn't.
They don't have that chemistry.
I mean, not yet.
They don't have.
Not
They
yet.
don't have it. They don't.
Not yet.
I don't think they're coached well.
Well, it's because Baker Mayfield is a showboat. That's all he does is showboat.
Too many young egos in the locker room.
Yeah.
Now my question is, how is he? How do you think Baker's gonna react to this loss?
I think he's fine. I think he's going to be fine.
How
I
about
think he might come
Odell?
out.
Whose team is that? Is that Baker's team or Odell's team?
Baker's.
Baker's. It's not Odell.
Baker was there before Odell.
Yeah, I don't think.
That don't matter.
It doesn't
Yeah, it
matter,
doesn't matter.
honestly.
Eli was there before Odell.
Yeah.
It became
Eli's
Odell's team.
see.
won 2 Super Bowls before Odell.
But Odell still. I mean,
Baker
Eli's still
proved
there.
himself last year. Odell hasn't proved anything for the Browns yet.
That's what I'm saying.
So I'm going to still say it's Baker's team for now.
Well,
for
you
now,
still got
at
a lot of
least.
other stars on that team other than Odell and Baker.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not just going to be Odell's team.
But
of course.
again, I just think they need to gel. That offensive line for the Browns, they look bad.
Yeah,
He
they
did.
do look bad.
What
I
I'm-
was
what
expecting
I'm
the
saying
Browns,
is,
like, have a star
Odell
dude out there
thrives.
and murder
Odell's
them. Literally.
Odell's stats are thrived off of his attention he gets by fans and by media. So by that, that's his team. You understand? Like when he did that crap in New York, like it was all over First Take, all over ESPN because of how much
All over
how much of the tantrum
Four
him
Sportsmen,
fighting Josh
KCC.
Norman and stuff. That's his team. He was making a show for New York. He was putting on a show. Oh, I dropped the ball. Josh Norman, I've had him beat. One more pass. You know, that's his team. Like, that's how he
was prime
thrives.
time.
He was prime time.
He's prime time.
He's Dion.
Yeah.
He's Dion on the other side. He's on the offense this time.
Yeah, but Dion got some championships.
That's what
Odell
I'm
did
saying.
too.
No, he don't. He don't have any.
one? He
kinda
wasn't
like-
with them when they won?
Who? Eli?
Odell.
Odell came in the league in 2013.
He's kind of like Randy
2012.
Moss. How Randy Moss made
That
like
was 2 years after
Yeah,
they.
2 years, yeah. Till they won, yeah.
They don't have
He's
any.
just kind of like Randy Moss. How
I thought he did.
Randy
I
Moss
didn't-
made that like,
that's my
oh,
bad.
I just mossed you. But Odell has like that one-handed catch. He's like, oh, I just got.
That can, I mean,
That catch is unbelievable.
It is
unbelievable.
It
yeah.
is.
we're not
We're not doubting
denying
that.
how talented he is of a player.
I mean, all of them are talented.
Where's his head at? Is what we're
That's
asking.
the issue. He's
the same
kind of
thing.
like,
Antonio Brown's the
he-
same way.
He's a wide
He's-
receiver.
Wearing a
diva.
$250,000 watch at a game during the game, nobody does that.
Well, I seen
'Cause
The
they
last
got
time,
it like
the last
that.
time someone wore a watch during the game was the 80s.
I
That's
remember
that's
they
stupid.
were necklaces.
Richard Millie comes
I
to
can see it
Lambeau.
hang out. Like, how do you not like somebody rip it? Like, how does somebody not rip that off? Like,
Keep
if I
the
was
lead
playing
will
the
rip
game-
it off. Michael
He
Crabtree will
did,
get a rip.
yeah.
Like the people who wear chains, I can see that. But you're wearing a watch,
see that
and
either.
it's bulky. It's $250,000. It's orange.
That
It
should
looks
be illegal.
like
You shouldn't
Oh,
wear.
actually,
you
it's,
shouldn't be able to wear stuff
350.
like that in games.
350,000.
Mhm.
And then he just posted a YouTube video with GQ, the top 10 things I couldn't live without in my bag. Guess what watch was on there? This is the 250,000 watch I wore.
On the
350.
game.
Whatever. But you know what I
Lost 10
mean.
diamonds
He just
on that
posted on
game.
YouTube.
That's just because I can. That's why he did it. That's why he's like, I
He's
can.
it's
But
he's,
see,
he's-
here's the
because I
thing, though.
can.
But here's
Yeah.
my issue with this,
because I
though.
Are we raising?
You're focusing on your jewelry and how you look.
It's-
Focus
During
on winning the game.
How you play.
Focus on what you
That's
can do for
people
that
look
team
at.
to win.
Yeah.
That's
the big thing.
43 to 13 ain't looking so hot. This is not good at all.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Baker
Team
Mayfield,
Tennessee.
your quarterback got a safety.
I think Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham are meant for each other. Before he played a game, Baker Mayfield had a shirt off in front of a Rolls Royce on the picture and stuff. You know that. Like, come on. They're divas. They're young.
now-
They're immature. They're not going to win.
Last week, though, not we all, I said that they wouldn't, and I don't want to speak for any of you guys, but the consensus was kind of that
We thought they would.
I did.
they kind
I
of
thought they
would go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So
I thought
are we
so.
changing our perspective now?
No,
Looking
I don't
at-
think so. I'm not.
I
I
mean,
think it's
I
too
didn't think
early
they would go to the
I think it's
Super
too
Bowl.
early to predict anything for anybody, like we said. But
They'll be one of the top
Okay,
Super
I
Bowl
say maybe not
contenders.
Super Bowl bound now.
I
Excuse
said they'll
me?
be the top
Maybe not
Super
Super
Bowl
Bowl
contenders.
Super Bowl bound. Playoffs, wild card.
they're
I say
not.
that's
They're
it.
not. They're
That's
not
what I
even.
said.
They're not even wild card debates for me right yet.
I think they're dropping more. Now, it is week one.
Yeah,
we don't
it's
need
just
to,
week one.
jump to conclusions and, just burn the house down. But I think this shows exactly what I thought is that there's just a bunch of attitudes in a locker room. They're going to put Cleveland on the map, but not with wins.
What's in the locker room is going to go on.
They're going.
That's
They're
how-
gonna.
that's
They're gonna sell
off the
jerseys
field.
And tickets.
and tickets, but
the
not
field.
wins.
Mm-hmm. I think they're Philadelphia of 2011 when Michael Vick and
Yeah.
all those players
That
went
seems
there.
more. Seems more.
Yeah. Well, all right. Enough of this. The hell they got us talking about them. They must be good.
Yeah.
What's the next game you want to speak about, guys?
It's your game, right? Because
My
it's your
game?
game.
Yeah, it's your game.
Then let's speak about.
You know you want to.
Go ahead.
You know you want
No,
to.
I'm not gonna bring up Baltimore.
Come
They
on, do
they,
it.
they killed Miami.
Greatest show on turf right here.
Oh,
Get that hat on. You still
Lord.
look proud.
Yeah, you still
We
look proud.
will talk about the Chargers and the Colts.
Chargers and Colts.
Adam Vinatieri. Well, let's talk about this though. Phillip Rivers, that man is just Tom Brady. He's not Tom Brady,
you think he
but
should be the new Tom Brady?
no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he's still playing good
He's
after
Phillip
all
Rivers.
these years,
He's
right?
great.
Yeah, he's still
So
pretty good.
we can say that Marlon Mack going ham in the second half. That was something. Austin Eckler just tearing that defense
Yeah,
apart.
he was.
But Indianapolis has a really bad running back catching defense. They can't stop a running back who can catch the ball. T.Y. Hilton, he did well.
That's what I was gonna say. He did 2 touchdowns. That's
Mhm.
pretty.
Yeah.
That's
He did.
crazy.
Wait, didn't he get hurt, though?
I wasn't even expecting that.
Oh, he didn't? I
at
thought he
all.
did.
Jacoby played well.
He looked good. Yeah, he did good.
Justin Jackson. I think this game for the Chargers, I think the Colts beat themselves because the Colts, Adam Vinatieri left 7 points on the board.
Yeah.
He missed 2 field goals and an extra point. There was
Colts
no
look,
need
the
for
Colts
OT.
look really good. The Colts do.
look good. And Jacoby, I think, stood up, said, hey, here I am, Andrew Luck, who go pee in the bucket with your, lacerated kidney because I'm the guy in Indy. And
I'm here now.
I'm here. I mean,
Pick me up if you want to make wins.
right? I mean,
I like it.
it was a good game. It was a good game. It was fun to watch.
I agree. It was a good game.
He's got good mechanics, throws the ball well, and I don't got nothing wrong with it. Marlon Mack and that offensive line. Maybe, I saw Joey Bosa get to him a couple times,
Mhm.
Melvin Ingram, but
That's Joey Bosa.
you can't stop him.
You can't stop him.
It's like a fridge.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Colts, I like the Colts this year. They really kicked themselves out of the game, literally.
Mhm.
But the Chargers do look good too. They have they're well balanced on the offensive side. Defensively, they were the better defensive team. They let Vinatieri kick the field goals. They held them, so that's a win for the defense.
Yeah.
That's a
And he
win.
missed. I mean, and it's not an easy job to just be a field goal kicker.
But
like, a lot of pressure.
Vinatieri
It's
game
not
one
automatic.
misses
Not
2
that
field
hard. I mean,
goals.
it's not
I
that
don't
easy.
see it every week.
Yeah, everyone else is warmed up, and you're going out there like.
He just came back to the facility not long ago.
And he's
probably,
older.
He's
you
probably
know,
been kicking at his house.
maybe. But I mean, like you still feel like a kicker should come in. If it's like 45 or less, you think it should just be automatic.
Yeah, but with his kind of resume, I
Right.
show up to camp, guys. You move out the way. I'm kicking this year.
You
But
also got to think about the holder, though. You don't know if the holder screwed it up. I mean,
Ray Finke
the ball
laces
like,
out.
misplaced
Laces out,
a
Dan.
little bit, and it's just screwed. Laces
Yeah.
out, of course.
I agree. I mean,
I'll
you
get my
know,
fantasy name.
laces out.
Yeah.
It was a good game, though, overall. Eckler, ball, T.Y., ball. I don't think Marlon Mack can uphold this. I don't think Marlon Mack or Eckler will continue. Like, those 2 games were just, I mean, those performances were just too dominant. It's unrealistic to expect that every week, right?
Yeah, agree. What about Keenan Allen? How you feel about like him around?
He's
And
so
Mike
good.
Williams. And Mike
but
Williams. How y'all
went
feel about
down.
him?
He went
Yeah,
down.
I think Keenan,
So-
if he stays healthy, he's gonna be good.
Yeah,
he's gonna be
of course
good.
he would, yeah.
He had 10 targets. 8?
He'd be a top 10 receiver.
Yeah.
That's good.
Stays healthy.
Before we go to the next game, do you want to go ahead and go over some injuries that happened last week, like guys,
Like Hunter
Mike
Henry.
Williams,
Patrick
Hunter
Mahomes rolling his
Henry,
ankle.
Patrick Mahomes rolling his ankle. There's a couple injuries out there. And then how long did we touch up on the Antonio Brown
Tyreek Hill.
lawsuit?
Well, I read
there's
some
really
about
not
it
much.
last night, and we don't condone here
Mm-hmm.
the things that he did,
Yeah.
and we don't mean to offend anybody listening to this show. What he did, if it's true, it's not right.
Yeah, it's disrespectful
It-
towards
it-
women and
it's-
towards everybody.
Yeah, you shouldn't, like, you're a married man. It's not a good place to be in, and we don't want to give this man too much credit for like
His
publicity
accolades.
or news because of this. But right now, it just seems like the Antonio Brown saga continues.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all we're hearing
I
about.
feel like it's just not
Literally.
going to end.
Like, he was in Oakland. All you
Y'all
heard about
think he's
was
going to?
him,
Y'all
man.
think they'll let him play?
It's literally a snowball
think so?
effect.
I
It
believe
literally
so.
is a snowball
Yeah.
effect. It keeps getting bigger and bigger
I
and
mean, it's the
bigger,
same thing.
and
Like
it's just
Kareem Hunt did the same thing. I mean, not the same exact thing.
Kareem,
but I mean, it's in the
yeah,
same
like Kareem Hunt.
situation.
What he did was disrespectful, and what
They
he
should give
it's
Antonio
his was
Brown
on
the same
video.
Exact punishment.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd
Mhm.
agree. Give him the same punishment.
I don't know.
I think Antonio Brown should be worse because he's had so many problems with the
Right.
NFL already.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think he should be suspended a year and then no pay.
Yeah.
The only thing I have a problem, like, why are we just hearing about it now? You know?
It's
Well,
because
it
he was-
happened
him
recently.
Getting drafted
If
to
It
the
probably
Patriots
probably
by himself,
happens
man.
more than what we hear about. It's because these guys are stars; they make all this money, and it gets shoveled in. It gets shoveled over with dirt.
And I don't want to speak as a woman, but I'm sure women, like, when this happens to them,
They're like,
you don't
Yeah.
feel confident enough to come out.
Oh, you know how that feels.
Like, you probably feel intimidated. You probably feel like you're probably skeptical. You probably feel like you're this big
Yeah.
at all times.
you probably feel like no one's gonna believe you, even if you do say it.
If it takes you a week,
Yeah, with
a
someone that
year,
big,
or 10
yeah.
years to come out and say, "Hey, this happened," and it's still like there's no statute of limitations on this. There shouldn't be, like, we shouldn't say, "Why didn't she come out the next day?" Because she just got sexually assaulted by a man.
a big man, a freaking
Yeah.
An
star.
NFL and a
athlete.
guy of that stature too.
Her reasons should not be discussed or pondered upon,
How
thinking
long?
why she waited or make her feel as if she's just trying to get
I understand what
publicity.
you're saying.
She probably just had to get it within herself to come out and say it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and I'm a
mean-
Steelers fan, and for Big Ben to do that stuff back in his recent years with the stuff in the bars of him sexually assaulting women, there's like 2 charges and him going to court. I understand that, but you don't do that. Like, I have respect for women, and I don't do that.
So do you think he did do it?
If he
That's
did,
not- we're not
if
gonna
he
discuss
did
that.
or
Yeah, we're not
didn't, that's not the
discussing
case.
that.
But
Yeah, we're not gonna discuss that.
but if
It's
he
not
did and
right
did, it's not the
to
case. But it's in general, you should understand and respect women. We'll go on from that.
And with that being said, so now week 2 against the Dolphins. Let's be honest, guys. They're not gonna need him to beat the Dolphins.
No.
Yeah, they're not.
Tom
No.
Brady is gonna
They're not
walk
gonna
all
need
over
him.
him.
Okay.
But do y'all think he'll play
don't need you
anyways?
for that.
Do you think he'll play?
He'll play.
anyways?
You think
He'll play just to get the publicity and just to get it, like,
Yeah.
and he'll have a good game. They'll feed him
I think
just to
it's-
get his name cleared.
I think it's too early. If they don't play him this early on,
Then he won't play at all.
right, and then that's kind of admitting
Patriots
guilt.
don't care.
Yeah. that means they're saying we know something. We're not playing him. We are not with him. We don't
Right.
agree with anything he's saying.
He's still on
They
the
just
team,
want
though.
another Super Bowl ring.
And Robert Kraft just did have that issue as well.
Robert Kraft got that taken care of. If not, he probably paid and whatever he did. But I'm sure he's did his own things in the past with women.
We can't say that either.
So,
we're not going to
Austin,
say
what's
that
the
either.
next game you want to talk about?
My next game I want to talk about is Chicago and Green Bay of last week, the very home opener,
That's
Thursday.
a big game right there. Big game.
What does it come down to? Aaron Rodgers' drive and a pick.
Yeah,
And you were right, though. You chose the
I
Packers.
chose the Packers, but I wasn't right about the score. I had a 3-point deficit, a 3-point difference. But I mean, heck, that was a good game.
Good.
But I kind of figured what would happen. Like Aaron Rodgers goes in, controls the pace of the game very early. Doesn't have a great start, but in the second quarter he kind of gets in a rhythm. He scores
For
a
a
touchdown.
drive.
Yeah, for a drive. And then coming out, he runs the clock out. That's all he did. He ran.
Trubisky is not good.
Well, I kind of told y'all that last year. I
You
didn't like
did.
him. I did not like
Trubisky.
him.
I didn't like him either.
And
Well,
what do you
he
feel about
really-
David Montgomery in that offense?
I still like him. I'm not gonna say it's the first week.
I mean, I'm not gonna say he's bad, but I don't like Matt Nagy's offensive scheme. He loves running. He loves passing running backs.
Yeah.
I agree, but the thing here is that I feel like he doesn't have the quarterback to run his offense, and he's trying to
Yeah.
hide Trubisky's faults, like his weaknesses and such, like his inability to throw the football as a quarterback. He's trying to hide it.
Yeah.
I don't
in his
think-
defense though, he didn't play any in the preseason.
Who didn't?
Trubisky didn't.
He should
It,
have.
it don't. It,
Yeah,
it,
he
it-
should have.
he
Exactly.
should
It
have.
don't
Yeah,
matter.
he
You
should have.
practice.
didn't.
You practice with your first team in practice. You should be ready to go week one. You are prepped. You are mentally ready. Your coaches get you mentally ready. If you're not ready for week one, then you shouldn't be
belong
out
there.
there.
I mean,
You should
you're
be.
in the
You should be
NFL,
out
you
there.
should
Put somebody
definitely
out there
be
that's going to get ready.
You're in the NFL. You should be ready.
Like preseason or not, Aaron Rodgers did not play in preseason. He won that game. He was ready.
Yeah, but there's no comparing Rodgers to Trubisky.
No, there's
and
not.
I know
There's
you're not
not.
trying to. I know you're not
There's
trying
not.
to. It's just, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I still think that like Montgomery stands the most to win from this.
Yeah.
Because he's talented.
Yeah.
And the inability to throw the football in that offense, they're gonna have to feature him, right?
He's a big back like Jordan Howard, but he's a lot more athletic than Jordan
Well,
Howard.
see, Mike Davis, right?
Hmm?
Mike Davis for the Chicago Bears. Yeah.
Him and what you call it?
With Mike Davis still, with Mike
Tariq
Davis,
Cohen?
Yeah, Tyreek Cohen. You know, I always get
Mhm.
with
I
They
know.
had more playing time than David Montgomery, all of them. both
yeah,
did.
but with
Yeah.
Mike
They
Davis
both
still
had
getting
more
touches in
playing
the
time.
offense. When does Montgomery get those touches? Like him and Montgomery are fighting for touches. Tariq
See,
Cohen's
I
not
thought-
in that battle.
I
He's
thought
a
they were
third
gonna go
down
out
back.
there, and Montgomery was just going to eat it up like the
No, you
Packers thing.
can't expect
That's
that.
what I was expecting.
You,
I know.
You can't.
I know.
You can't.
That's especially with rookies. You can't.
That's what I was
yeah.
expecting. Now.
I mean, I was
know.
actually kind of shocked that Josh Jacobs did as good as he did.
Yeah, he was
He
a
had a
rookie
monster
with a horrible with a team
Well, you're
last year
going
that was
against-
completely turned over.
Yeah, and the thing is that offense actually moved the ball.
Yep.
Oakland
Passing the
did.
ball,
Oakland-
passing
yeah,
it,
but again,
passing
they
it
were
too.
playing-
And then-
they were playing Denver.
Right.
And again,
But they're a
Denver.
good
Denver's
defense.
not a pushover with Von
They're not.
Miller and Bradley
Yeah,
Chubb.
no, they're
especially
not.
on
They're a
the-
tandem.
on the defense.
But I
Their
will
defense
say,
has always
though,
been known.
Green Bay, their defense,
It's looking good, isn't it?
it looked
It didn't
good.
look bad at all.
It was the first time that I seen Aaron Rodgers have a defense on his side.
That
And
defense won him the game.
It really did.
The
He
turnovers
only had
and stuff.
one drive. He had one drive. He got 7 on one drive.
Yeah, but the thing is with Aaron Rodgers, like he's known to not turn the ball over as much and stuff, but he also protects the ball. He knows where to put it, and if he's not going to pass it, he'll run and scramble. And he's got the veteran experience. But what won the game for the Packers was that defense.
Yeah.
It
The
was
turnovers and
defense, yeah,
everything.
defensive win.
Agreed?
Agreed.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And even though Chicago made it hard for Aaron Rodgers, he still found, I'll put it this way. He put up 10 points, but his defense only allowed 3 points.
Yeah,
He needs that. If he gets support from the defense,
he'll win every game.
Yeah.
if you put Aaron Rodgers in the Baltimore defense, game over the league, if his defense can keep a defense at less than 14 points, he'll win you a game.
Yeah. His arm looks good.
Oh,
he looks healthy.
He looked pretty.
It looked, a couple throws from the a couple throws because he didn't play in preseason were a little bit off.
Right.
But those throws are for him next game. They will
Sidearm.
be on pass. They will be on par.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now his counterpart though, poor Aaron Rodgers, the running back Aaron Jones.
Yeah. Do you start him this week? Because I wouldn't if he's hurt. Because if you do, and he comes and plays, Jamal Williams is going to get some touches too.
They're playing Minnesota,
and that's a good front seven.
And that team played well.
I have James White too.
I know. I if you have to, you do it, and you just pray to
he gets a touchdown.
You just pray to God that he gets TD.
Something.
You need that.
But last year it was, I think, against the Vikings that he had that beautiful ball thrown to him by Aaron Rodgers that was a wheel route. And, he called it. I mean, it was like a 40-yard bomb to him, too. I mean, you play it if it's boom or bust for you, bud.
What do you think about Aaron Rodgers? I mean, not Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron
Aaron
Jones.
Jones.
I like Aaron Jones.
But this week against Minnesota.
It's against Minnesota. Holy
Front
crap.
seven.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And then you got Harrison Smith in the back and Xavier Rhodes at corner. I mean, that defense is very underrated.
Rose just shut down Julio.
I think I don't know how I feel about starting.
See, I wasn't going to start him in my fantasy, and people called me stupid. Why?
What do you care what people call you?
I mean, I don't care. I'm just saying.
Just do what you want to do. What you think?
I do what I do.
What
I
makes
feel
you
like
happy?
people are just trying to get me to lose.
Not me. What? What? No.
They told me not to.
No. Start
bench
him
to bench him.
last week.
A run like an RB1. I'm gonna
Yeah,
bench
last
him.
week.
People are saying that's stupid.
So you should have benched him last week.
No, not last week. I didn't care about last week because I had to bench my first and second pick.
Oh,
anyways.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
But
sure.
this week,
Still won.
I will say though, in my big league, I have him as well, and I'm benching him.
You are.
Yep, he is.
I'm thinking about it.
Just trust me, man. Trust me.
I gotta trust my own senses.
Who's your other running backs? Because I mean, I would not start
McCaffrey.
I would
got McCaffrey. I mean,
obviously.
I mean,
212 yards, 2
I got
touchdowns.
Singletary. I got Singletary.
Start him.
I mean, I was going to start him.
17 yards, average of 17 yards a carry. Start him.
No. Wait. Let me help you because we're playing each other. Let me help you. Let me do your lineup.
I got James White from New England.
Don't start him.
Well, I need to flex too.
But they're playing the Dolphins. They're going to run the ball a lot. Sonny Michel, they're going to be up ahead. They're going to run the ball all the time.
Well, they're going to give some for James White too.
Yeah, Dolphins are great.
They're not going to pass it. Why would Tom Brady get an interception?
All right, let's go on to the next game, guys.
Let's go to the next game.
Next game.
I'll give you some credit.
We're going to jump into the next week.
No, let's go ahead and jump into the games we got talking about right now.
Okay, well, week two, we have. I'm just going a little quick rundown of everybody playing. We highlighted 8 games that we think are going to be relevant, and the other ones, if we have time, we'll get into them. But we have tonight, Thursday night, Tampa Bay at Carolina.
Let's go Panthers.
We have to talk about that one, Norman. Go on and get it.
I got key players. I got Godwin, Mike Evans, and O.J. Howard.
Mike Evans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though he last week he didn't do nothing, he was supposed to be sick.
I'm not going to sell on the Tampa Bay wide receivers. I actually like them.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
I like them.
But the Panthers,
Their secondary
is terrible.
Their
No
secondary's
offense,
gotten
Panthers.
better,
They
but
shut
it's
his terrible.
down Mike Evans.
Who?
last year they did shut down Mike Evans.
Well,
But
Godwin. Hello, Godwin.
yeah, but they're gonna pay a lot of attention to. I mean, you're not gonna worry about Rojo and all them.
You still got Howard too, tight end. He's gonna.
Last year, Howard I think had
still
2
got
touchdowns.
Luke is gonna smack that down.
As long as
McCaffrey. No, they'll say
Jameis Winston can throw the ball and get the ball to his
Yeah, I
wide
mean,
receivers.
hell, he
That's
had
the problem.
he had two pick sixes last week.
Bruce.
He can throw some touchdowns.
Yeah.
Bruce Arians, I think the offense looked pretty good with the running backs and stuff, how they got them involved. But Jameis Winston doing Jameis Winston things like stupid interceptions that should have never happened. So we'll see how he does. But he's playing a really good Panthers defense, who I have on my team, and I'm playing, because I like them. I like the Panthers defense.
Me too. Yeah.
Their secondary's got improved with Trey Boston coming back, but they still got rookies on there.
They played good with the Rams. They put up a
Panthers,
fight
yeah.
with the Rams. They put a fight.
Well,
with the Rams.
heck yeah, they got 8 first-round picks on defense now.
I feel like the Panthers should have won that. Cam Newton lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did.
He always does.
No.
Let's not jump that far.
I'm just saying.
Come on
I
now.
don't know. I used to be a
This
big
isn't
fan
bar
of him.
talk.
He always does.
Don't. That man took him to the
He's
Super
good.
Bowl.
He's
He did, but he
He's a
also
good
threw the
player.
Super Bowl.
35 passing
He
touchdowns.
also
Don't get it
12
going.
rushing touchdowns. Over
right.
700 yards rushing. 729 yards rushing, actually.
So with that being said, Bucks at Panthers. Carolina's there by 6.5.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
going to
saw
be
7.
a blowout.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what do you
So
think?
what's the score?
I think Carolina will win by a good margin. I'm gonna say about.
I give him 2
10?
touchdown lead.
14?
14.
I say
give 'em
38 to 40. I say 38 to
14
14.
points.
10's respectable. 14's a little bit pushing it, but I say 10 to 14.
I say
10 to
14.
14?
Yeah, I can
Wow.
see 10 to 14, but I say like 14.
Okay. Okay.
I'm pretty reasonable with that.
McCaffrey, how many yards rushing?
Oh, it's gonna be
Russian.
he won't
that-
play. He won't play the fourth quarter.
No.
He won't play
You
the
don't think
fourth
so? You
quarter.
think that'd be blowout?
He'll have 150,
I say 170 yards.
150 total all-purpose yards.
I can
I
see
think he
that.
have
2
about
touchdowns.
12.
I can see that.
I say 2.
I'm with him.
I say 170
I
yards.
say
107?
12 carries.
I don't
70.
I don't think he plays the fourth quarter though.
I say 12 carries, 113 yards.
No, altogether.
Altogether.
All-purpose
Scrimmage
yards.
Yeah.
All-purpose
I
yards.
think
say
150.
170.
Quickly, come on. Next
Yeah,
game.
yeah, 150. I can agree with
152
that.
TDs?
I say
Yeah.
150.
All right.
I say
What
one
do you
TD.
say, Albert?
I'm going to go low ball now, so I can't be wrong. I'm going to say, no, really. Yeah, about 100. About 100. About 90 yards rushing. And then add about 50 receiving.
Well, I said
How
170.
many
And 2
TDs?
touchdowns.
I called-
Touchdowns?
I
I say
called-
one TD.
I called
say
Jason
2.
Witten touchdown first game of Cowboys. I'm gonna go ahead and say second game Greg Olsen first touchdown of the game.
Today?
Yes, first touchdown today goes to Greg Olsen.
You know, him and I worked out this morning, and he told me that they're gonna that he don't feel like it.
He said I'm a little banged up, but I'll catch one.
It's his back.
All right, so next game will be New
He had a
England
lot of
Miami.
targets.
Hmm?
He had a lot of targets.
Yeah, he did, and he looks like I think Norman can outrun him. Next game, New England Miami. We won't talk about that.
We won't talk about that.
After that, San Fran at Cincinnati.
Nah.
Cincinnati's fair by 2 points over on
San Fran's gonna walk away with
45.
that, I think.
I
You
don't
think so? There
I
we
don't
go.
think so.
I think Joe Mixon doesn't
Here we go.
play. I think Bernard
Right.
goes.
So here we go to the next one. Then Chargers Detroit. We ain't gonna talk about that game, but obviously the Chargers, right, guys?
Chargers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We keep on rocking with that one.
Yeah.
Next one, Minnesota at Green Bay.
God almighty.
Somebody has a man crush on Aaron Rodgers because he just so happens to be that man's
Has to be you.
starting quarterback in fantasy football. I love the stash.
A la
but
me.
here we go.
Sexy.
Take it over, buddy.
All I mean. Well, let's see. That's probably going to be one of the biggest games of the week, I think, with Minnesota coming in and being the favorite. I think.
In a rivalry game.
I think they're the favorite, but actually they got Green Bay favored to win, right?
Yeah, by 3 points.
3
You're
points.
right.
They got Green Bay favored to win, but the over/under of that is 44, and so that's gonna be a lot of points scored right there. I think about 20. I say the score with me be. I think Minnesota wins that one. I say
I think so, too.
27. I
I say
think
the Vikings
27.
win, too.
I say 27-21. I say
Close game,
27-21 Minnesota.
I say
I will.
24.
This game I'm so excited about because Minnesota last week they won. They had so many points
Without throwing it.
at 10 passing attempts.
10 total passing attempts.
Dalvin Cook went ham. You know, if they keep him healthy.
LP.
I wish that he can help them a lot. Man, and then Green Bay, that defense, it's gonna be fun to see if Minnesota actually changes their because they want to run the ball, so it'd be fun to see if they can actually do it. It'd be fun to see if they can actually
against Green Bay. I mean, God, that's gonna
that
be a big game.
they stop Montgomery, they stop that Bears.
That's why I feel like Diggs and Thielen are gonna have a big game.
Diggs is hurt.
They're gonna.
I don't think Diggs is going to.
You don't think he plays?
We didn't think he played last week either, but he played.
I think Thielen
Maybe,
gets all the
yeah.
attention, and I think Diggs has a pretty big game, and also tight end. Where's he fall at? I mean, Kirk Cousins threw it to him a lot last year against Green Bay. Where's he fall at this game?
He had no receptions last week. Rudolph did.
I know, but last
Rudolph,
year
yeah.
when they played,
Mm-hmm.
he was one of his biggest targets in that game.
In a game like this, you have to go to things that you don't know.
Yeah.
Like you have to not. Obviously, you're expecting. If you're Minnesota, you expect Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball.
Yep.
You expect him to go to Devontae Adams. If you're Green Bay, Kirk Cousins to go to Thielen, to go to Diggs, go Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
They're gonna cover that, and then you hope that Rudolph can make something out of nothing.
And it looked like I was watching last year's highlights when they played. Rudolph would literally just sit in the zone while Kirk Cousins was moving around the pocket because Kirk had to move a lot because the offensive line was really bad last year. But they just upgraded with a good center. So I mean, he would just sit in the zone and catch balls all day from Kirk Cousins. So
Yeah.
I think Kyle Rudolph could be a good tight end you could flex this week or start him if you feel comfortable. But I mean, I like Kyle Rudolph and Minnesota's offense, and then Diggs being the number 2 behind Thielen, because I think the defense for Green Bay is going to hold them on the run game and make them throw the ball.
Over under 44 point, guys. Over under 44 points.
Go to the next person. I wasn't even thinking.
Okay.
Under.
A lot of passing. Over.
Over. Okay. Who wins? Minnesota?
If it comes down to Aaron Rodgers with 2 minutes, I'm going with Aaron Rodgers. I'm
Right.
gonna say Aaron Rodgers wins this game, but I think Minnesota has the team to win. But seeing last week how that defense played, I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna say Green Bay wins by 3. I'm gonna say 31-28.
Okay.
Green Bay.
I say under, but I think the Vikings are going to win.
I say Green Bay's gonna win too. I can agree with that.
I
think
don't
the
know.
Vikings might
I'm
pull
so
it out.
torn. I don't know.
It's hard.
agree with
Vikings might pull it out.
I can
It's a
see-
coin flip.
I
but
can see
I'm
Green
going
Bay win.
Minnesota.
I like the
Okay,
idea
so
of
at the end of the week
believe
or
that.
I-
And I
I
think that's gonna
I feel like they'll stop it early, but I feel like in the second half they'll get it going with
Because-
Dalvin Cook.
Cousins
First
didn't
half.
throw the ball, and that's gonna.
I think they're going to hold him in the first half. I think
don't-
they're going to hold him. He's going to get like 10 touches and maybe like 40 to 30 yards.
If
but
you
that's
do
it.
that, then you're gonna throw it to Adam Thielen. I mean,
Or
that
Diggs.
offense and that
or Diggs
defense.
if Diggs plays.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, he caught.
I'm going
Are
Minnesota.
You're riding on Diggs not playing, aren't you?
I mean, I'm not writing on anything.
I don't. I
It's just
don't have
that-
Diggs in my starting lineup. I don't. I mean,
And you own them, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, but I have better options at my wide receiver spot.
Right.
I have Watkins. I have Juju. If Juju plays, he's gonna be a tearing up Seattle. I think.
We hope so. Well, you hope
Oh,
so.
and then I
Yeah.
got Ridley going against Philadelphia, which that's an easy start for me.
Right. Well, let's go next game then.
Yeah, who's got the-
Indy at Tennessee. Just a quick one, just who do you guys have? Tennessee said about 3 points. I'm gonna say,
say-
Indy.
I got
I say
Indy.
Indy.
I got Indy.
Yeah, I
Indy.
say Indy.
Indy. All right.
Yeah.
Tennessee could upset. Next one, Buffalo at New York Giants.
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
Buffalo
Yeah.
by
Point and a
Buffalo
half.
by I say Buffalo by 7 on
I
that.
like their defense. Daniel Jones played last week. He 3 for 4, a couple of yards, not a lot. Garbage time didn't really matter.
And you got
But
Eli
you know,
Manning, come on.
yeah, but you have Barkley who ran.
Yeah.
He ran well, and Evan Ingram looked good.
Yeah, he
so we'll
did.
see
That
how
offensive
it
line
goes.
looked pretty good for the Giants too.
I mean, they started off well. The Cowboys just had this.
They just got in a rhythm. Cowboys did after.
Y'all want to talk about that real quick? The Cowboys' offense last week, or no?
I mean, there's not really much to talk about. I mean, perfect passer rating. I mean, you got everybody getting the ball. I mean, it looked good. I mean, what do you expect?
In the last decade,
Like, who's the best person on the team? Like, you literally can't say who's the best person on the team.
in the
can
last
be the best
decade, I'll tell you
Who?
this, guys.
Really? Because Dak Prescott had a perfect passer rating.
Yeah, no, he's saying it because
Prescott
he's just being biased. But in the last decade, I want you guys to know that on Sunday, we actually encountered something that's never been done, and we had 2 quarterbacks that had
Two
a
perfect
perfect
passes. Yeah. Lamar Jackson.
and Dak Prescott.
And Lamar,
Passes,
I thought
passes.
Lamar looked more impressive than Dak because Lamar was throwing the ball.
He did. He looked more impressive, but the
But
thing is
against-
that Lamar Jackson's had. I mean, the defense he played against, so it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Like, people are trying to
he
leave
could do
Dolphins.
whatever. Dak though,
Miami's
the way he
horrible.
handled. Okay.
Still just trying to throw it.
I know.
Next game,
My
next
my
game.
team got killed by New England, but it's New England.
No. Hey, don't you pull my bullet before my holster, so I can go on this one now. Seattle at Pittsburgh. Addy, what's up? What you got there?
All right, Seattle and Pittsburgh.
We have Pittsburgh by 4.5 points favored. The
Good.
over/under is 45.5.
Yeah.
And then you're coming off with Juju didn't play that well. James Conner didn't do that great. But then Seattle had a hard time with Cincinnati, who we all thought that would be the bottom of the barrel in the Steelers
Yeah.
division. So what's up? What you going?
I think both teams didn't play to their best potential the first week, but Seattle, I actually have them the favorite. Like, it says Pittsburgh 4.5 favorite over them. I actually think Seattle's going to win this game.
That's one of my upsets as well.
Yeah, I think Seattle's going to actually win this game. I'm a Pittsburgh fan, but I don't see Juju being a number 1 wide receiver.
What happened?
I like him, but I don't think he has the star status to be a number 1 wide receiver. I don't think he does. I don't think he's that good yet.
So he needs Brown back?
I think he's too young, and I think that he don't have that chemistry yet with Ben.
I think
That's what I said before we even did anything. Before we even did,
well, no, just say something.
Before week 1 even started, I said Juju wasn't going to be.
I was kind of skeptical.
You did.
Mhm.
I
But
remember that.
I was kind of skeptical, but
You're optimistic.
I was
I
optimistic.
still think Juju
I
will do
understand.
good.
I think he'll do good, but I don't think he'll have the type of year that he had the last 2 years.
Do you guys then need Antonio Brown back?
No.
No.
No team needs Antonio Brown right now.
I
No
agree
team
with
needs
that.
Antonio
However,
Brown right now.
though, okay, so Juju Smith being number 1 receiver, will he have more yards as being number 1, or if you had AB back and then
think
have Juju as
you'd have
number
more
I
2?
think
AB
he'll
was
have
back.
more if AB was back.
I think he has the
So
talent.
Brandon.
I think he has the talent to be number 1. I just don't think he has the chemistry with Ben yet.
Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, I agree, and I don't think it's just that. I don't think he has he can't handle. AB took so much pressure off your offense.
Yeah.
AB can go run circles, and
everybody,
follow him,
yeah, they will.
you know,
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna get a hot dog, like he's and
Yeah.
and everybody's gonna be, hey, I'm gonna sound like eating a hot dog with So yeah, and James Conner, how about that? What happened
So,
there?
James, well, they were down early in the game last week, and then so they were trying to use Jalen Samuels a lot, and he wasn't doing much. And then basically when you're down 3 touchdowns, you're not going to run the ball. So let's go shotgun the whole game, and then we'll throw some interceptions. It was just all a disaster for Pittsburgh last week.
In fairness, though, they did play.
England.
This is what I think Pittsburgh's doing.
Not England.
This
This
is
is
what
America.
This is what I think Pittsburgh's doing in their locker room while they're about to get started for practice. Let's turn on TV and see what we got to find out about Antonio Brown today.
I don't think that happened.
I feel like they're just waiting to hear about Antonio Brown's mishaps.
I don't think so. I think they're happy he left. Obviously, every team.
I
is
think they're
he
happy.
left.
I just think they want to. I think they want to boast about what he did wrong.
But New England, we know that they always pick apart what you're best at,
Yeah.
and that defense can shut down Juju.
Well, the thing is,
I mean, Moncrief had 10 targets, 3 receptions for 13 yards.
yeah. But the thing is with New England, they find a way to get the best potential out of the players. Everyone. And it might not be, they might not have the best system for offense and defense, but they get the best potential out of their players.
I saw Tom Brady last week kicking 75-yard field goals. I was like, what? How does that happen? What?
It's Tom freaking Brady.
Next game?
Tom freaking Brady. You know
so we can wrap it up here soon. We have Dallas at Washington.
Oh, I had Dallas. Going to run all over them.
Well, Dallas is favored by 5 points, over under 46.5.
You say over under?
You think there'll be over 46 total points for both teams?
What's the final score?
I say over.
What's the final score for both teams, you think? What do you think? Dallas, 31, 37?
I think, yeah, something like that, yeah. I'd say about 24. I'd say under. 24-13. Something like that, yeah.
Under?
Case Keenum
Yeah.
starts for Washington.
Again, yeah. I think he played good last week.
Yeah,
I think
too bad.
he's a
Didn't
little
do
Mighty
bad.
Mouse.
How about is it Thompson? Is it AP?
I
It's
think
Thompson.
all
I
the
think
way.
they're going to throw the ball because they're going to be down.
they're going to be
They're
behind
down.
most of the game.
So I think it's going to be
But
Thompson.
when they
They're
do
gonna
run the
throw
ball,
it
who
to
do you
him.
think is going to be getting?
Geis is out. Breaking news.
AP probably.
I think
6 to
yeah,
8
AP.
weeks.
Yeah.
I dropped him. He's in the way.
I know. I noticed.
AP's
I'm not
more
getting
like
him.
an old-fashioned
Yeah.
runner.
He was trying to trade him and everything.
I got Chris Thompson though. So
Yeah.
that's a good pickup. If they're playing behind him most games, he might get a lot of touches,
I have
like junk yards.
Zeke going off and getting 16 carries, 126
Now, for
yards,
all of
2
our
touchdowns.
listeners out there, he has Zeke going off because
fantasy.
he is
Every
on his fantasy
single-
football.
every
So if you guys
single
ever
week.
think about Norman's
Besides-
sexuality,
How many carries did he
you're
get last
right. He loves Ezekiel Elliott.
I am straight.
And Zach Efron, but we're not getting on Zach Efron.
Yeah, he's completely straight, but he loves Zeke and Zach. Other than that, guys, back
ZZ
off.
Top, baby.
So every week he's gonna say Zeke is gonna go off for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns.
I only said 126.
And Zac Efron's in a new movie.
126?
Yes.
Receiving?
No. No, that's a big both with receiving and
Total yards?
carries.
You
Yeah,
think
total
100?
yards, Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think he'll have more than that.
126.
If
with
they're
4
up, they're going to
receptions.
run the ball a
Oh
lot.
yeah, they're gonna run the ball a lot.
I don't know.
dude.
I don't think he's gonna
Okay.
have more than
I
that.
think
your
he'll-
game.
I don't think. Listen, they're
It's
gonna
your
have,
game.
they're still gonna use Tony Pollard. They're not gonna just throw him off.
With 2 touchdowns,
I can
think
see
he'll
that,
get
but I think they're not going to pull Zeke until the third quarter's over.
Yeah, but I say he's gonna get his 2 touchdowns. He's gonna be fine.
He'll have
Might get
20.
to it.
I think he'll have 25 carries, 160 total yards to be more comfortable, and then maybe 2 touchdowns. I think that's comfortable for him.
Okay.
Because I mean,
reasonable.
they'll
I'm
pull him
happy
out
with
like just like McCaffrey. He'll be up. He'll have maybe 20 touches, 200 yards because he gets a lot of passes though. He leads the league in the receptions last year. So McCaffrey to me is a better option, but Zeke, he's a better runner.
Mhm.
But McCaffrey's a better all around
Yeah,
to
yeah.
me. I feel like, but
So Dallas wins.
Oh yeah.
Dallas wins.
it's easy.
Dallas wins.
Of course.
If Dallas loses, then Washington's doing something that they got in that juice over there.
I mean, they held the game.
they got something in that
I mean,
juice over there.
they took Philly to the
They
brink.
they
mean,
took
but-
Philly to a game.
Philly
But
doesn't
you're
look
comparing
as good as
Philly
they
to-
used to.
To
Well,
Dallas.
Yeah, they don't look.
I don't think you understand how good Philly
Week
is.
1, right?
I mean, week 1, of course, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
What's the hardest division in football? Is it Dallas's
Michigan.
division?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
What's the next game you
I
got
think
there?
the Patriots, not Patriots, the Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Browns, and all them. That's the hardest division.
I think that's a hard one.
I don't
right
think
there.
it. I don't think it's that hard.
Nah.
I think Baltimore's the best team in the division, walking away.
Maybe this year, yes. Usually though, it really.
But like when you look at Dallas division, like who's their best clear cut?
How about the NFC with the Panthers?
Panthers,
New
Tampa Bay.
Orleans. See,
I
New
mean, all you got is New Orleans.
Saints.
yeah, the Saints are gonna walk away with it.
No, it's
You
gonna be
don't
the
know
gonna be
that.
the Saints and the Panthers, and then you got Atlanta coming up the rear, and then you
How
got
can pick
Tampa Bay in
Saints
the
over
very
your
back.
game?
Okay, on to the next game. Then it's going to be Arizona at Baltimore. Last week, Arizona.
Baltimore.
Wow.
They look confused. They look disorganized.
And then fourth quarter hit.
Right,
And
and
when
then
yeah.
Kyler Murray did
They
some
clicked.
things. You know,
Yeah, but
it looked well.
He started off rough patch. I mean, it's a new QB and a new
Offense,
coach.
yeah.
New coach. I mean, but
Yeah.
I mean, he put it together at the end. I mean,
did.
I think
brought
we
a
were all
comeback to a
expecting-
tie.
We were all expecting that to be a like a blowout for the
A blow-
Lions,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
again,
It was a blowout.
the Lions are not that great of a team.
I was.
I mean, they were up 18-0, and then
Who-
Arizona came back.
Like who lets a
18-3.
They were
team
up
come back from
18
18 to nothing?
in the fourth
The
quarter?
Jets.
In the fourth
Jets.
quarter.
This
Like-
week, the Jets did.
Like those are the teams that we don't need to talk about. Like
Agreed. So you know, Kyler, you know, I will say though, 5.7 yards per pass. He got sacked 5 times. Towards the end, he did something. We'll skip that game. They're playing Baltimore. Baltimore is favored by 13.5 points. Let me just go on and say Lamar Jackson for MVP this year.
no, too early.
I mean,
Oh no, I like that.
It's
He's
week
going
one.
I
to
like
eat
that.
this week.
I like that.
Too early.
But
it's
they're
week
not playing
1.
anyone still.
They
They're not
haven't-
Really playing
they-
anyone.
Let's
They're
see
not
how it
playing
goes.
If they
They
would,
played the Dolphins. And
yes,
they're the best
that's what I'm
team
saying.
ever.
Like
Keep telling yourself that. That
Like-
makes you sleep better at night.
the way
Watch
the
Dolphins go
reason
off.
the reason I think
We're
they,
not.
the reason I think they are good is because they beat the Dolphins with doing something they don't do. They threw the ball a lot.
He threw well though.
Like he threw the ball a lot. They don't do
he
that.
Had perfect. He
Like
was
if
perfect.
they're- I don't think they even use their regular game plan in that one.
Yeah.
I think they just changed it up when they saw the Dolphins.
Yeah, I agree. But let's just skip that game because well, we have to wrap it up soon, and we
we gotta
have
wrap
3
it
more games to go.
All right.
And we have Kansas City at Oakland.
Let's skip
Nate,
that. We already talked about that. We already talked about that at the beginning.
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah, we
We
did.
did.
Yeah.
fair
We
enough.
talked
And then
about
we
that.
have New Orleans at the Rams. That's a good game. We all have
God,
mixed
we
opinions.
all gotta
I
talk
can't-
about
I
that.
can say
Yeah,
that I
right
have
there.
KC over Oakland at 38-24.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah,
just gonna say that.
Because
we can move on.
you're a smart guy.
Yeah,
Of course I'm
we're a smart guy. We know the win. We know who's gonna win.
I always say the Raiders get 24 because they're O-line. I mean,
24?
And Derek Carr.
That's a lot of
yeah.
Derek Carr, he
No.
did good last week. I mean,
They look
Would
good.
you give Kansas City?
huh?
What, how many
Kansas City 38-24.
That's a
I
good.
can
That's
see
a
that.
that's a
That's
reasonable.
But now, I think this is prime time. I think only 2 games this week actually matter.
Yes.
Minnesota, Green Bay, New Orleans, Rams.
That's a bigger game because of last year and because of the playoff scandal. That's a big game. That's probably the game of the week.
I think so too. With
I'm
that
gonna say
being
New
said,
Orleans wins it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
The Rams, actually, for the fans out there listening, you fans, 2.5 points favored. Over under 52. Last week, Todd Gurley.
I say over.
This man right here to my left, maybe, but this man to my left right here said that he made a good point. I said that Malcolm Brown and Todd Gurley were like maybe 3 carries away. But Todd Gurley had how many yards?
He had 90 yards on 13 touches. He's not hurt. He's just getting his legs loose. They're just walking him back into the league.
That's what he thinks.
And he will be ready for this game. This is a big game for them. This is a step-up game. This is shut everybody up
I
game.
can't wait.
They will win. I will say they win by a touchdown.
And here's the thing
Rams?
too.
They,
Though.
the Texans just
Rams?
took the Saints and about beat them.
Yeah.
The Texans didn't
But
look
this
bad.
is a whole new Texans.
The Texans' defense is not good. The Rams'
It's week
defense.
1. We can't say they're not good.
Aaron
I don't think
Donald,
it's bad.
Aaron Donald in his prime, or J.J. Watt coming off 3 or 4 injuries. Who would you have? MVP year,
But
Aaron Donald.
They're both top
Yeah, but
5
they held
players.
a
Like they're
Saints
both
team.
good. And JJ Watt got triple teamed the whole game.
Okay, so who played
I
a
would
harder
team
team last week? The Panthers with a good
the
defense
Panthers.
and a front seven going
New
against the
Orleans.
Rams. I think the Rams played a
I
harder.
think
New
the
Orleans did.
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
Mhm.
I think the
I
Rams
say the
did.
Panthers.
I
No.
said the-
Panthers win against
Right,
the
well,
Rams.
you come
We're
into
2-2.
the-
Fitty fitty.
How many home games
going against Panthers.
openers?
It's
How many
totally opposite.
how many home openers have the Panthers lost? None in the last couple years. They have won
But
them.
how many times have they played a good team?
They just lost to the Rams.
Yeah.
How many times?
The
have they-
Panthers are a good team. Though.
The
You're knocking
Panthers,
the Panthers.
beat themselves though, and we
Yes,
discussed
we-
that
we
earlier.
talked
Yes.
So let's go back to this game right here, right now.
Texans should have won that game.
So
Yeah,
you
that's my
have
point.
They, Panthers and
they
Texans should
they
have
could
won
have,
both
but they
their
didn't
games.
though. Drew Brees again, resilient. Like you
Yes.
know, we can go back and forth
Yes,
all
you
day
can say
long,
what
guys.
if
Two-
all the time.
But
I
it's week
have-
2. It's week 2, guys.
I will stand with the Saints this week.
I think we need a bet.
Oh
I
Lord,
think we need a bet.
what's the bet?
Us two against y'all two.
Deal.
I'm down.
What is it?
I got the Rams.
We got
Okay.
the Saints.
I'll take the
All
Saints
right.
all day.
I got
Who
the
dat?
Panthers.
Come
Who
on,
dat?
sorry, I'm Kamara.
So what we need to make a bet real quick. What do y'all want to do as a bet?
We get the spread too. We get 2.5 spread.
Oh, you gotta watch out, man.
So you got
I
one
don't
by
have
3
that much money.
points.
I don't want to spend my
We'll,
money.
we'll, we'll
No, we're
figure
not
this
doing
out.
money. We're not doing money. We'll just do like a little.
We'll figure
gag
this
gift.
out
We'll do a
off
gag gift.
camera. How
Off
about
camera,
that?
we'll
Man,
figure it out.
These guys would like to know, man. Come on.
Well, they will. We'll open
Water
up.
balloon. How about that? Again, the water challenge
Yeah,
or
what happened to
something.
that?
Water board
Last week.
challenge. You go water board. I'm just
No,
kidding.
no,
We had that
no,
last week. What happened?
I'm not trying to die.
We made a bet like that last week. What happened?
It's for the whole season,
It's
though.
the whole season.
Yeah, I wanna win
whole
this. Did
season
you
bets.
know
We
I'm
wrote
so
it down,
good?
didn't we?
That's not easy to say.
Yeah, I
We
got
wrote
it.
it down?
Yeah, I got it.
I hope we like water balls.
Well, let's move on to the next game.
Well, no, we're not done here yet, though.
We just even talk. We haven't even talked about it.
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah, we was-
interrupted
Hey,
me
guys,
here.
It's past our curfew.
And
No, we haven't. We didn't start until the
And
big
then
hands on two.
the Rams, Malcolm Brown. I think you're right. Todd Gurley, he looked really good because
did.
they kind of ease him in. If they keep easing him in at 13 carries at 90 yards, they're gonna be
His leg can
a-okay.
still swell up.
And
at
Malcolm
any time.
Brown
He can
looked
flare up
good.
at any time.
Malcolm Brown looked like a
he
compliment
ran
to
it.
Todd
He
Gurley.
looked- no, not compliment. He looked like a freaking bum
Norman,
rusher.
you're-
over
Yeah.
the gut.
Norman, you're
Going
uh,
against Luke Kuechly and Shaq Thompson and that guy
Yeah,
off
but I
that
can
defense.
bench press Luke Kuechly.
You're making it sound like he's an old
And then we
guy.
have
He
the
is an old
Saints.
guy. Not really, but
You know, Alvin Kamara. They really.
he
They
didn't do nothing first half, and
Anything.
then daggone.
And
he just
then
went
He went
out.
the
off.
second
He
half,
went
yeah,
off for the
because
second
they
half, yeah.
tried to establish the run in the first half, and they couldn't win that way. So then you have to resource. It's obvious that the Saints and the Rams are both holding back Gurley and Kamara.
Who has home field advantage? That's the key.
At Rams.
That's why I think the Rams are going to win by.
Okay.
I still stick with
So,
Fine, you know what? Deal.
What's the
How
point?
about we
What-
eat a tablespoon of cinnamon,
the
a
cinnamon
teaspoon.
challenge? Let's cinnamon challenge.
Yeah, we'll do that
All right.
on camera. Screw it.
and then
You got to hold it in for a minute, right?
I don't know.
You
how
gotta
it works.
put
You
it-
gotta eat it
put
all.
it-
What you mean?
No, you put it in your mouth and you try to slowly swallow it, and you got it for a minute. And if you people they'll gag and throw it
right.
up. Yeah, it's fun.
But it'll get messy in here.
Who said we had to do
They'll
it?
get mad at us.
we can do it outside. Video it outside. We'll post it on there. We'll let everybody
Okay,
see.
go to my house and do that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Then with that being said, Saints win. We get 2.5 points, right? Hell, it didn't even matter.
Hold on.
Yeah, 2.5 points.
It's no. We said we're betting on which one team wins.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but we still get 2 halves. So you got one.
Y'all
by
want
3.
to do spread or we just gonna do win?
spread.
Okay, spread. So y'all got 2.5. So anything over 2.5 points, We win.
A field
Anything
goal.
under? Okay. All right. Cool.
Deal? You okay with that too?
So
All right.
over 2.5.
So if we
under
win
2.5.
by a field goal or more,
Yeah.
Y'all win.
we win.
You win it.
All right.
Deal?
Sounds good.
So again, the deal is that the Panthers win,
Home
right?
field advantage for the Rams. They got Cooper Cup back. They got Cooper Cup back.
Yeah,
Todd
yeah.
Gurley's coming
Yeah.
slowly back.
I
Mac
get it.
Brown.
I get it.
I like the
stick with
Rams.
this. I stick with
Sean
this.
McVay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm with it.
You
Yeah,
rock it,
let's
baby.
go.
You got the California kid going back home now.
Cal.
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 I keep thinking Cal.
Philly at
The
Atlanta.
California
Nate,
kid.
wrap it up. Make it quick.
All right, I got Philly over Atlanta 30-24. The Atlanta's run defense doesn't look too good. Miles Sanders and Jordan
Howard.
Jordan Howard is going to have a big day, I think.
Yeah.
And we're just going to leave it at that. Philadelphia.
Zach Ertz.
with the win.
Rocks it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How about Julio Jones?
And Calvin Ridley.
How about those two guys?
Yeah.
What do you think?
They're going against the weak
Yeah.
secondary.
I think they'll do good.
They're gonna eat.
Oh yeah. They
Eat
always
all day.
Eat all
I
day.
think
Every day.
I think Calvin Ridley will eat. I don't think
What about
Julio will
Devontae
eat.
I think
Freeman?
Julio will eat.
Nah, Julio will have a big day. I think Julio will have
But the
about
Eagles'
120
secondary isn't
yards
that bad,
total.
though. The Eagles secondary is not that bad. So which one will they cover?
They gave up a lot. They gave up a lot of passes to Case Keenum. Like it was
Yeah.
like Chris
But I
Thompson
still-
was
And
heyday.
same
back
thing
then.
that was
don't
still
think their-
game
It's
one.
week
It was
one,
still
yeah,
game
but I still don't think their secondary is that bad.
And then that was Washington. This is Matty Ice.
Yeah, this is Matt Ryan and Julio Jones and Calvin
Matt
Ridley
Ryan.
and Devonta Freeman.
Doo-doo last week, man.
Like
Doo-doo.
that's
Doo-doo,
So
right?
week,
line is just
that's
Speaking
week
of
one.
doo-doo, on Monday night we have Cleveland Browns at New York Jets. What do you guys think?
Browns.
Do the Browns get it back on track, or
hope so.
do
Oh,
the
yeah.
Sam Darnold-less Jets
I
Yeah.
see that.
keep
I
on
think
rocking?
They'll get back.
I say the Browns.
They'll win, but I don't
Take
think it'll be
Browns.
by much.
But I
I
still
know.
don't
I
think
think it's
they're
gonna be
gonna
like
do that good.
21-14, something like
Do you
that.
think Baker Mayfield will make a comeback?
It's a good defense that he's going up against,
It
but
is good
however, if they don't win this game,
It's
they
fine.
have no chance at a wild card.
But just think. Last week his O line didn't.
It's
look
still game
good.
2.
Oh.
Okay,
It's week 2.
I'm gonna win the bet.
It's week 2.
If they go 0-2 without Sam Darnold,
You think
you're
Nick Chubb
done.
has 180 yards?
Yeah, do you?
I don't even think he's gonna have 80 yards
This week?
Nah,
Nick Chubb?
no. I say about 70.
Total yards?
No, not total. Just
Rushing.
rushing.
And how many are receiving?
25.
So
100.
100 yards scrimmage?
Yeah.
You better hope so. And
How many touchdowns?
Done, Norman.
One?
One. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's like a last minute
Maybe.
thing. Maybe.
Well, that's it for us, guys. Thank you for jamming in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in.
We're gonna leave a like
the
and a
Four
subscribe,
Sportsmen.
right?
Please follow us on YouTube.
At KTC Broadcasting, the Four Sportsmen. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you want to see.
Anything at all. If you want to see Norman, anything, please.
Just me.
Help us out. Let us get some bread and
Thanks
milk.
for seeing us.
Thank y'all.
Thank
Bye-bye.
y'all.
Shut up and sit down.